Hello, beautiful friends and book lovers. I hope that you are all doing well. If you are new to my channel, my name is Heather, and here at Heather's Book Review, I mainly like to read and review thrillers with the occasional super hyped up fiction novel, which in this case is this video. I am going to be reviewing and talking about Atomic Love, which is written by Jenny Fields. I chose this as my, I think, August book of the month book. Typically, I will choose whatever book of the month thriller it is, like The Night Swim. Oh yeah, I got The Night Swim and then I got this as an add-on. Just because, I don't know about you guys, but if you typically read the same genre over and over, you need something for a nice little break. Also, my puppy is sitting right here and wants some scratchies, so that may pick up in the audio a little bit. But I chose this because it has been a minute since I've read a historical fiction novel. And this is like romance, historical fiction romance. The last time I read a very, very great historical fiction was All the Light We Cannot See. I'll put that still here. That made my top 10 of 2019, which I'll link that video up here if you're interested. But let's get chatting about Atomic Love. So like I said, I got this for a add-on for Book of the Month. If you are not a Book of the Month member but would like to be, I'm going to put my invite code in the description box below. And if you want to join, it would be so appreciated if you join through that link, because then I get a free book if you join for my link, which is great because then that means more reviews that I can film here. If you're new to my channel, I always give my non-spoiler review and premise of the book. Then I tell you what I rated the book, and then I give a little warning because I go into a book chat for those of us who have read. So let's just begin talking about Atomic Love. This book follows our main character named Rosalind, but she also goes by Roz, so I'm just going to call her that. So Roz was a scientist that worked on the Manhattan Project, and the book takes place like a year or two after the Manhattan Project. So Rosalind worked on the Manhattan Project and helped create the atomic bomb with a man named Weaver, who she was madly in love with. So she's in love with him. She wants to, have a life with him. And then the book pretty much starts off with her living on her own, because after everything happened, Roz had this terrible sense of guilt for, that she was a part of all of those lives being taken. And Weaver, you get the sense that Weaver kind of sold her out a little bit, and now he's not part of her life. So now Roz is left to pick up the pieces of her life alone. She's no longer a scientist. She's working at a department store selling jewelry. And you can just tell her character, she's so intelligent, she's so smart, and she just feels like her life is pretty much being wasted away. So then all of a sudden she meets this man who's been like following her around. It feels really weird. She sees him basically everywhere she goes, and he's this very tall, handsome man who finally introduces himself to her as Charlie Sidslow. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm just going to call him Charlie. So Charlie is adamant that Weaver, the man that is no longer a huge part of Rosalind's life, is a spy for the Russians, and he pretty much is begging her to get back in contact with Weaver and to pretty much have Weaver admit that he indeed is a spy. So Weaver kind of makes himself back into Roz's life, and now she's torn. She's like, does she want to betray him so she can help Charlie and the U.S. government and maybe, get some respect back to her name in a sense? Or will her undying love for Weaver make her not betray him? So I would call this a suspenseful historical fiction romance, because the book is essentially like you're following Roz. Is she gonna sell out Weaver? Is she gonna fall back in love with him? Is she gonna form some sort of relationship with Charlie? Will she ever become a scientist again? It's pretty much following her story like that. And I did really like it. For the ratings, I am going to give this, for my personal rating, a 7.5 out of 10. And on Goodreads, I'm going to give this book probably a 4 out of 5. I really did like it. I just wanted a little bit more from it. But that's pretty much for my book chat for those of us who have read, because I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. If you're new to my channel, I would love if you could hit that subscribe button before you leave and that post notification bell so you are notified every time I post a new book related video or review. All right, so now this is the book chat part of my video for my friends who have read this book. So, did we ever find out what was in the report that Weaver put together that got Roz fired? I don't think we ever found that out. And I was like so anxious to know what that was about. I also was left craving a little bit more of like the secrets that Weaver did give the Russians. I don't know. I guess I would have just liked to know that, since the whole book's premise was pretty much leading up to like, is he a spy? Yes. Okay, well then, you know, what was everything that he gave? What was all of the information that, you know, he gave to them? So yeah, I don't know. I wanted a little bit more of that. Did really enjoy all of the different personalities that we experienced in this book. For Rosalind, she was someone that obviously had a lot of immense guilt, and I feel like she didn't have a whole lot of faith in herself. I feel like as a character, she was always struggling with pretty much what was going to become of her life. For Charlie, I felt like he really didn't have a lot of confidence at all, because, you know, his first love, when he came back with, you know, his damaged hand, pretty much that like really destroyed him. And I felt like as a character, he was always struggling to find security in his life, and he felt like he was never going to have that because he was never good enough. I also felt like with Rosalind's sister, whose name I'm blanking, you know, we were seeing a very stubborn woman who was about to lose a lot in her life if she couldn't take accountability for herself. And I don't know, I felt like this book had really great character development, and we learned a lot about the characters. The one that I really didn't think we knew a whole lot about, probably because of, you know, the ending, was Weaver. I felt like we never really got to know a lot about him other than he was super secretive, and I just never really knew where he stood with basically anything, with all of his secrets that he kept from Roz and those secrets that he sold out. And yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much all of my thoughts on Atomic Love. Please leave in the comments below what you thought about this book. Did you like it? Have you read anything else by Jenny Fields? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about her other books. I would have to do some research into that. But also, I love that this book takes place in Chicago, because as you guys know, I live very close to Chicago, and I felt like because of my experience with being in the city quite often, I was able to experience this book and just really visualize it. So I definitely appreciated that aspect. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next book review. And my next book review is going to be on The Night Swim. So I haven't finished that one yet, but by the time this video is posted, I will have filmed that, and I'm super excited. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next review. Bye, you guys.